What's going on, boys and girls? In today's video, we're going to talk about passive income, what it really is, and how to start growing your own passive income sources of income. I said it a few times already. Nevertheless, we're going to talk about passive income today and how you can get started with it right now. Don't go anywhere. All right, so today we're talking about passive income. We're going to break down what it is and is it something that you can attain for yourself? And if that's the case, then what does it look like? I had been following the greats for many years, and if you guys are familiar or if you're a follower of Gary V, aka Gary Vaynerchuk, he mentioned this a few times in his channel, and I'm sure many other people have said the same thing, similar to Gary V. And one of the approaches that he has to the idea of passive income is that theoretically there is no such thing as passive income. And I believe what he means by that is that you can't, what he means by that, I believe, is the mindset behind it. Meaning that you can't expect to not do any work and to just sit back and watch your money grow. When people think about passive income and they read up on it, they think that passive income is simple and that it's easy, and it's like one of those things that answers everyone's prayers. Passive income, yeah, let's do it. There's certain principles behind it. And first of all, you need to get out of your head that this is something that's simple, or that requires no maintenance, it requires no effort, no work. None of that's true. None of that is true. So get that notion out of your head, because in that regard, I agree with Gary V that passive income does not exist, at least in that sense. Even so, people are still throwing that term around, and so it makes one wonder, well, okay, if people are still promoting passive income this, passive income that, then what the heck is it? Can someone please just break it down for me? And that's the purpose of this video. Before we get into that, though, I wanted to just share a story with you about my beginnings, my origins when I first started getting into making money online. I remember when I started back in 2012, and it was quite a journey for me. If you want to know the full story, I have the story on my channel. Just I'll have the link somewhere around here. You could click on that and get more in depth into my story. But it was a long, arduous journey, and when I finally started to make money online, it was a breakthrough. But let me tell you, it took a lot of effort. It was a very intense few months for me, and it required so much effort. In fact, I would refer you to the book by Grant Cardone, The 10X Effect, or the 10X Rule, sorry. I've read that book cover to cover, and it's clearly it clearly steers you in the right direction and in the right mind frame. The people who are going to see results are the people who put in that 10x effort. That's just how it works. You got to bust your butt to reach that breakthrough, and I certainly did when I first started. And once I started, I made that first $20. I kept going, and eventually that little trickle became bigger and bigger, and I picture it as kind of like, you're pushing a small little snowball up a snowy mountain, right? And once you get over its peak, then you could let the snowball go, and it starts collecting on its own and going downhill, and it starts going faster and faster and faster, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, that little snowball becomes this giant, I don't know what you call it, but it becomes huge, ginormous, bigger than yourself even. and it's going down so much faster and so much little friction. Like there's nothing really standing in its way. It's not the same as when you're going up a mountain, because when you're going up a mountain, you got to push against the force of gravity. But when you are over its peak, it gathers and gravity works in your favor. And that's kind of like the way that the universe works, is if you prove yourself, and this isn't one of those existential, universal, whatever they call it. I'm not into that whole Benihana type of stuff. I'm just kind of letting you know how theoretically it does work this way, is that the more effort you put into something, the more you benefit from it. And that's even biblical. So, you could imagine how it was when I first got started. And when I hit that breakthrough, I didn't stop there. I didn't say, I made that first 20, now the rest is going to come in all by itself, I could just sit back and relax. No, I didn't do that. I kept going. I kept pushing. And that 20 turned into 50, turned into 100, turned into 150. It kept going. And to the point where I was making a set amount guaranteed, basically. Just every single day looking at my phone and seeing the money come in. And it was kind of a cool little game because, I remember thinking, okay, I don't want to make any less than $100 today. Will I do it? Will I do it? And then just over time throughout the day, I'd see, ping, you just earned $25. Okay, well, let's see. Next one should be about 50. Is that going to come in? Bing, you got 50. Okay, well, maybe we could top that. Am I going to end the day off strong? Let me see if I get any more. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I did way over that amount. But, I would spend every day, making something. And it was rare that I would go a day without making anything. It would happen. A whole day passed, nothing came in. But, again, that was rare. Just about every single day. Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Saturday, I would make money every single day. And that was passive. Now, I still had to work at it. I still had to keep going. Because, the way it works is that if you stop, you're eventually not going to see anything. It's going to wear itself out. But, the way that passive income works is that, you've built that momentum, and even if you took some time off, it would still work, right? It would still keep coming. The goal is you want to keep putting in that effort to keep the ball going, and it's a lot easier at that point. And also you want to put in that same 10x amount of effort to grow it even bigger. That's why you got people of the world making 20, 40, 50 grand per month. You got people claiming that they're making 100 grand per month. I'm not behind the scenes on any of those people. I agree with you that sometimes that sounds a little bit far-fetched, but and that's because my mind isn't there yet. I don't doubt that people are making that money, because I know of certain people that actually are. So I don't doubt that. I just think it's interesting how so many YouTubers say that they are, when I'm like, are they really though? But if they are, cool, kudos, that's awesome. I'm happy for them. My mindset is at the pace of the 20 to 40 grand range, and that's my goal, and that's where I'm climbing towards. So, but there was a time when 20 to 40 grand was far-fetched for me, and it was like, no way can anyone actually make this much money. It's not possible through traditional methods, but it is possible when you use concepts like passive income, because you can create a source that is generating money for you and then continue to add other efforts on top of that. And that's what grows that snowball. That's where you go from making 500 per month to 1,000 to 2,000 and more and more. You got money that's working for itself, and that's where the idea of passive comes from. So in order to make this work, you have to put your money to work. And that's what this graphic here is. I just Googled it. But put your money to work, passive income. So the way that I grew was, I'm telling you the story about how I finally hit that first $20 and I kept going. Well, there's no secret about it. It wasn't through just completely free. I was making money off YouTube way back in the day, and that's how I got started. But it wasn't just that. I wasn't doing it for free. It got to the point where I started investing with paid ads, with, CPC, solo ads, stuff like that. And that's what helped me to grow. That's what pushed it along, because, my money was working for me. It was doing the job of 10 of me. And so, the rule is, as it's always been, you're either going to trade your time for money or you're going to trade your money for money. It's an investment and a sacrifice of one of those two, time or money. And most entrepreneurs, they cherish time. It's the one thing you cannot get back no matter what. So many people put their money to work. And when you put your money in, that's when you get a return. And that's what helps to generate more. And the more money you put in, the more in return you get back. So, the old school idea of what passive income is, I agree with Gary Vee. It's not how people see it. It's actually a very simple and obvious concept that if what you reap, you sow, and the more you reap, the more you sow. That's just standard. It's just typical. So what I did was I started putting in a little bit of money, and I started getting back a little more than what I put in. Sometimes I broke even. I tested different sources. I tested different solo ad providers, different CPC ads. I tested it all around. And I lost money sometimes, quite a bit actually. I lost money on many occasions. Other times I just broke even. It just came back. I got back as much as I put in. And at that point I was like, well, at least it wasn't a loss. So I could take that money and try it again, but I'll use a different provider or tweak my ads a different way. So I used to do, that in the beginning. And then once I kind of hit my stride, I just kept going. And that's what's going to happen once you get to a point where you hit your stride, as in you figured out like, okay, this one provider has been getting me the biggest bang for the buck, the biggest return. And let me tell you something. It's not any one given person, okay? It just some providers work better for others, and vice versa. There's no hidden secret there. What you're gonna wind up doing is you're just gonna have to test the waters, and you're just gonna have to see, what works best for you. Maybe solo ads is not. I like solo ads, but maybe that's not your biggest thing. Maybe it's cost per click. Maybe it's I don't know, something else. But you got to try different things to find out what the results are. And when you find the results that are to your liking, stay with it, and then increase your budget. Put in more. Whatever you get back from your business, you toss it all in. You give 100% right back. Don't pocket anything until you get to the point where you are getting a lot more in return. And instead of pocketing, $20 here or there, you can now instead pocket $500 here and there. And on a recurring commission, recurring fees, recurring this and that. I have a website that is a lead generator for a home remodeling business, and I get calls to this day. I haven't touched that website since 2016, maybe. Yeah, I haven't touched it, as in I haven't logged into the back end of it. I haven't. I type it in and look at it every now and then, but it's not even a high priority. I get phone calls, and I forward it to business owners who can handle these phone calls. These people that are asking for, they're basically throwing money. They want a home remodeler to go to their home. So I just connect the dots, and That's passive income right there, because I set up a website. I did it the right way, and it's generating phone calls automatically. I don't have to do anything except just forward the calls to business owners, and that's it. And I plan on working on more of that in the future. But my point is that, it can take on different forms. The reason why it's passive is that you don't have to do any additional work to get the ball going, because you've already done that work. Now what you need to do is you need to add the work towards growing it, or maybe creating a different stream of income, creating a different model. And while this first one is already bringing you money, the second one can be set up to do the same. But it's going to require your time, it's going to require your effort, and it's going to require your investment capital to get that thing to grow. So it is work. It is always going to be work. There's not going to be a time in your life that you are not going to work and maintain and build and check on something. But you'll get to the point where, looking into things like the businesses that you set up, it's not an obligation at that point. It's not like, it's not like a one-time thing. You can take breaks. You can enjoy your life. I took 2 weeks. In fact, I'm on vacation right now. I'm just kind of breaking from everything, and except for this. And I could sit back and chill, come back and realize that it's still like my money's still working for me no matter what. I could go on vacation. My money can't. And actually I referred you to a book. It's downstairs because I'm reading it with the kids around me. But there's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, and that was recommended to me by my mentor, one of my mentors. And so I got the book the other day, and I started reading it. And I'm in one of the first 3 chapters, and they're talking about the concept of passive income. They're saying that the gold, the coins that you have are like little servants, and they work for you tirelessly day in and day out while you sleep, while you get to sleep and wake up and work during the day and sleep during the night. And also that the coin has the ability of producing additional coins. Like it was described as babies. They have babies, and the babies can have babies, and they can continue to grow and expand. So the potential of passive income is absolutely there. Now, one thing that it mentioned in the book that I'm going to tell you right now, and maybe I'll do a segment where I teach more on the book that I'm reading here, is that the difference between people who are poor and people who are rich is that the poor think that the money that they get, they have to hold on to it, because if they let it go, they won't have it anymore, right? We spend a lot of time tirelessly working to make money, and majority of that income goes into our finances, into bills, into things that we owe money on, right? Food and necessities, maybe a little bit on entertainment if we have that money, right? But the money, we look, the poor mentality looks at it as we work so hard to build this money, and most of it is gone already. And so whatever we can hold, we got to hold and cherish it and keep it within us, and they wonder why they never create wealth. The wealthy mind realizes that wealth is a natural flow, the natural come and go of that money. So you got your finances, you got your bills, you got things that you owe money to and all that stuff. So that has to happen. But the income that you take, the gross amount from that, you shouldn't hold on to it like, oh my gosh, I can't lose this. That amount should also be able to come in and out. You should be able to let it flow naturally. You should be able to let it leave and not be afraid of letting it leave you, because that amount that you keep for yourself, if you want to create passive income, if you want to build wealth, you need to find ways to invest that money. And the only way you can invest it is by letting it go. So you need to be able to find a way to invest that money by letting it go, and then coming back to you greater than it was before. And that's the benefit of creating passive income, is that what you invest comes back even greater. Now, it may not happen right away. Oftentimes you put in money somewhere, you may not see anything back. And when I say see anything back, what I mean is, like, for example, if you're paying for ads, right? So that you can get people to sign up for your email list so that you can market products to them. Well, in the first few months, you may be getting people on your email list and growing your list, and that's great. But within those few months, you may not see a single sale. So in your mind, you're thinking, well, I'm throwing out all this money and I'm not getting anything back. So that's what I mean. But in actuality, you're growing that list. That list are people that you can market to again and again and again and again, and have for a lifetime of sales. So, it is working for you. It's just you're not seeing that money right now, is what I'm saying. So you got that. But you also have, times when you'll spend money and you'll just get, you'll break even. But you'll get to the point, like I said before, where you hit your stride and you start making back right away more than you put in. And when you reach that point, that's when you know you've climbed over that peak. And now you can see that snowball grow and on its own. And it is an amazing ride. So hopefully you get something from this. Passive income is absolutely possible, but you need to change your thoughts on how that works and how to make it happen. So I hope that you keep your mind set on that, and that you also will start thinking about creating passive income for yourself. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you did, please give this video a thumbs up to let the YouTube algorithm know that you appreciate the content on this channel. And also, don't forget to click that subscribe button and bell notification so you can be updated on future videos. And last but not least, if you would like to start your own way of getting passive income, there is an affiliate marketing system that I want to recommend to you right here in the link below. It's really simple, really easy to do, and I'd be more than happy to guide you through the steps to get started today. Just let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's your boy Jason. Much love, God bless, and as always, you know how I do. Peace.
I should make money for free. Yeah, that's how money works. Money for free. If I ain't got a boss, then it's not a legal way to make money. You gotta know that's true, right? You gotta have a boss for you. Okay. The only way to make money is by spending a crazy amount of time. If I'm not like slave or nothing like that, okay. But okay, here we go. Nobody makes money from home. This COVID thing is just a fluke. We're gonna be in office again, and if you seriously want to help me, you should just give me money. That's how you show me